Hey guys, James here. I thought I would do a quick video on the different types of kegs, just in case you were wondering. I haven't seen a whole lot of that on the internet. So there's a lot of stuff text-wise, but if you're like me, if I want to know where it's at, I just go to YouTube. So anyway, the most common and probably what you're most familiar with is this one. This was commissioned by Pepsi. Back then, General Beverage had this built for dispensing premix soda. So basically it was soda and water mixed together and it would dispense through a regular premix valve head. So this is old school stuff. These have been around forever. When they made the transition to bag-in-the-box, where you have actually, and that's exactly what it means, boxes of syrup mixes with carbonated water, these went obsolete. The cool thing about this is homebrewers picked them up because they're stainless steel. And as you can see, they have a safety relief valve. So you can get down in there and you can clean it by hand. It's easy to take apart if you need to sanitize it. Really super simple to operate, use. This will dispense anything because it's stainless steel. Any beverage, I should say, but you'd be surprised at what we've heard people use these in dispensing commercial printers for ink, adjuncts for breweries, you name it. But for all intents and purposes, this is your home brewing keg, this corny keg. It utilizes ball lock disconnects. And as you see right there, that's a CMBecker disconnect. So that's the best. I'm a little biased, of course, but they go on, come off easy. Just pull the collar, snap on, pull the collar, snap off. Now, if you have and of course, as I showed you before, it's got a safety relief valve and a manual valve. It's all in one. This thing will blow at about 130 PSI, or you can manually blow it by pulling on the ring. Before I go to the next one, I thought I would give you some height comparisons. Now this keg right here, on its own, is just almost 25 inches. Now, if you wanted to check the height with the disconnect, they fell off the table, but there you go. So you want to be about, if you've got 26 inches of clearance, give or take a half an inch, as you can see, you're going to have a tail piece coming out. So you might want to give it about between 26 and 27 inches. You should be good to go in your Kizer, kegerator, or what have you. Now, going on to the next one is what's called a pinlock keg. Now, those were commissioned by Coca-Cola. And that's why all the disconnects you see for these are red. And these two fell on the floor, but this is the original standard keg pinlock disconnect. And you see how tall they are. And it's real simple, just pushes on and then you just twist the collar to lock it in place. Now, if you'll look, especially at the top here, you notice one thing that's different from the GB keg or the corny kegs. It doesn't have a manual relief. It's got a safety valve that'll blow about the same pressure, but it doesn't have a manual valve. So Keg Connection, when they sell these, they'll let you have a depressor for the gas side to bleed the pressure off. Now, one thing that you noticed about this is the height's different. So if you look at this, we're talking about 22 inches height. Now, with the regular disconnect, we're running about, you're going to need to have about 25 inches clearance, give or take an inch in whatever you put it in. Now, here's what's cool about Keg Connection's keg kits or dispensing kits that you can buy from them, is they also sell our shorter disconnect. And that's going to give you a little more clearance if you've got tight space issues. So you can get away with about 24 inches in this. Now, it's a little bit bigger around. This thing's almost 9 inches, whereas the corny keg is going to be a little over 8. So, 8 and not quite 8.5 inches in diameter. So you give away a little bit of width for a lot less height. And the cool thing about the pinlock kegs is they're a better value. You can usually find these on sale a lot more often than you can the ball lock kegs because honestly, more people use the ball lock than they do the pinlock. But it's a good keg. I've used them. The disconnects work great. something to think about if you've got, especially if you've got those smaller Kizers setups and you don't really want to raise the lid much, you can use something like this. It works good. Now, the last option that we have is what's called a converted keg. So if you like a ball lock keg, but you don't like the pin lock disconnects, you like the ball lock because they're easier to go on and off, what we've done here at Keg Connection is we've converted them with the new posts and a new lid, and guess what? We put a manual pressure relief. Now this thing will still blow in 130 PSI range if it gets overpressured, but it's stainless steel lid, stainless steel posts, all new O-rings. It's been pressure tested along with all of these. All Keg Connection kegs are pressure tested now. I will say this, I just pulled these out of inventory, so it wasn't like I picked them out for I just picked them up. This is what you can expect to get if you order a keg from Keg Connection. I like these, and I like the GBs, this for space. And I've got long arms, so it's not a big deal to clean, but I love these because you can get down and you can clean them. They come apart real easy. They go back together easy, not a lot of parts. There's really not a whole lot to this that can get you in trouble. Anyway, I thought you might want to know about these. If you've got any questions, you can contact kegconnection.com or do like I do, Google it. Talk to you later.